The Book of Kings, Part 6, Elijah in the Wilderness, the Call of Elisha, Ahab's Wars, and the Dangerous Abuse of Power. Welcome back to our journey through the Book of Kings. Previously, Elijah stood on Mount Carmel and challenged the prophets of Baal. Fire came down from heaven, the people recognized the Lord as God, and rain finally returned to Israel. It seemed like Elijah had reached the greatest victory of his ministry. But then, something unexpected happened. The courageous prophet became afraid. The victorious servant became exhausted. The man who stood against hundreds of prophets ran for his life because of the threat of one woman, Jezebel. Even strong people become tired, even faithful people can become discouraged, and even God's servants sometimes need restoration. When Ahab returned home, he told Jezebel everything Elijah had done at Mount Carmel. Jezebel was furious. Instead of recognizing God's power, she sent Elijah a message threatening his life. The prophet became afraid and ran. He traveled into the wilderness, sat beneath a broom tree, and reached one of the lowest emotional moments of his life. He prayed, "I have had enough, Lord." Elijah was exhausted. He felt alone. He believed his work had accomplished nothing. But notice God's response. God did not condemn Elijah. He allowed him to sleep. Then an angel awakened him and provided food and water. Elijah ate. He rested again. And God fed him once more. Sometimes what appears to be a spiritual crisis is intensified by exhaustion. Strong people also need rest. Rest is not always weakness. Sometimes rest is part of God's restoration. Strengthened by the food, Elijah traveled 40 days and 40 nights until he reached Horeb, the mountain of God. There, he entered a cave. God asked him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Elijah poured out his frustration. He believed he was the only faithful person left. Then God told Elijah to stand on the mountain. A powerful wind came, but God was not in the wind. Then came an earthquake, but God was not in the earthquake. Then came fire, but God was not in the fire. Finally came a gentle whisper, and Elijah recognized God's presence. The prophet who saw fire now discovered that God also speaks quietly. Elijah believed his ministry was finished. God disagreed. He was instructed to prepare Elisha as his prophetic successor. Elijah found Elisha working in a field, plowing with oxen. Elijah approached and placed his mantle upon him. Elisha understood immediately. He left his work, said goodbye to his family, and followed Elijah. A new chapter had begun. King Ben-Hadad of Syria gathered a massive coalition against Israel. He surrounded Samaria and demanded Ahab's silver and gold. Despite Ahab's failures, God gave Israel victory so that Ahab would know, "I am the Lord." The Syrian army greatly outnumbered Israel, yet Israel attacked and the Syrians were defeated. God demonstrated that he was Lord of the mountains and the valleys. Never limit God to the places where you previously experienced him. Near Ahab's palace was a vineyard belonging to Naboth. Ahab wanted it, but Naboth refused because it was his inheritance. Jezebel arranged a conspiracy. False witnesses accused Naboth. Naboth was taken outside the city and killed. A king could manipulate courts. A queen could arrange false witnesses, but they could not hide injustice from God. Later, Ahab wanted to recover Ramoth-Gilead. Hundreds of prophets told him, "Go to battle, you will succeed." But Micaiah the prophet warned that the battle would end disastrously. Ahab ignored him and went to war. Despite disguising himself, an arrow struck him. By evening, Ahab was dead. The uncomfortable voice had spoken the truth. There will be moments when you are Elijah beneath the tree. Tired, discouraged, rest. Listen, God may not be finished with you. Success without character eventually becomes failure. Power without justice becomes oppression. But the person who hears God's whisper will not walk without direction.